G'day folks, Gary here from Platform 1 MRC. Well, it's been 2 months since my last update and I do apologise for not getting an update to you sooner, but just been busy with a few things, a little bit of motor railway, going to motor railway shows interstate and just spending time with my boys as well, so we've been away, done a few little trips here and there, and yeah, look, it's time to get back into this and time to give you guys an update. So what you see here is the area I spoke about last time, which is a transfer yard for palleted goods out of containers. So anyway, look, I'm going to move the camera and give you a better look at this. I have decided to hold the camera freestyle at the moment, just to give you an idea or an overview of the area. The concrete hard stand there is a 5mm foam core which has been scored, textured, weathered, painted to represent just plain old concrete. The containers that I've got there are from Euro Hobbies here in Australia. Great value. I think the 40-foot containers there retail for about $12 Australian, and the little 20-foot containers retail for about, I think, $8 or $9. You can see I've also added in the scene quite a pile of pallets. Now, bit of a trick there, I decided to only put full-size pallets on top and on the very end. So I don't know if I can get around here far enough. Yep, you can see that there's full pallets on the very end there, the blue ones there, and the same applies at the opposite end. So, as I said, only the top pallets are full pallets. Everything below the top pallets are half pallets, so I've cut them in half. And these are some of the pallets that I scratch built myself, and a couple of 3D printed pallets that, well, I put the 3D printed pallets on top just because they did look a little bit better than what I could do. But yeah, I just need to fill that scene up, and when you look at it, I think there's 120, maybe 110 odd pallets there. Could be more actually. So yeah, it took a bit of time to do. But anyway, look, I'm going to post up a few photos to show how I went about creating this scene from what it was previously. I think you may recall what it looked like. It was just plain grass behind the fence, just like up there between the container yard here and Salco. So anyway, here's a bunch of photos you can have a gander at. Now, viewing from the other end, you can see where the hard stand just stops there, and I will put a bit of taller grass and what have you in through this area here just to build it up. Maybe a dumped car or something, just something to, yeah, you could say a little bit of eye candy beyond the fence. So there we have that area. So it's not looking too bad, and it just creates a little bit of interest for the operator. Okay, so we're up here on the other side of the Salco building there, and as you can see, I've put in a concrete platform. Now, any of you out there that follow me on Platform 1 MRC, HO scale shelf modelers, micro, small, model railroad layouts, and a whole bunch of other Facebook groups, you'll know how I've gone about producing this. So the concrete there is actually just a foam core carcass, and I've gone over the top with the old Boomer Special golden fibre paste. Now that was just layered on using a plastic spatula, and once it cured, I actually cut the grooves into it where you can see all the weeds growing there in the top, and then sand at the top just lightly, enough to leave the depressions in the top of the concrete, and to actually finish off so it's reasonably smooth, so it's just like weathered and battered used old concrete platform. I'll put up a couple of close-up photos, and like I said, people on the Facebook groups have seen these photos before, so In the previous shot you could just make out those tyres in the foreground. So I've moved the camera and you can have a look at this here, what I've done. You could say the line from that set of points further up has been realigned. You could imagine that one line would have ran parallel to the platform there, and the other line, or what's been removed now, would have been the actual spur itself, you know, the line that continued on to the rest of the world. So I decided to do this just to add a bit more eye candy to the layout, another little bit of interest to an area that only had grass and weeds down on previously. So I went about cutting up all these tyres out of 1.5mm balsa wood and removed a lot of the sand back to the foam base here, and individually measured out and glued these tyres down into position. Now the tyres were stained with India ink and isopropyl before I put them into place, and once they were glued in place I was just waiting on an order from Mini Prints to take hold of the tyre plates that you see on top there. So I went through, gave those tyre plates a paint and also a weather, and individually placed all the tyre plates into the scene. So it just really completes a scene that was otherwise pretty, well, you could say naked. I mean, this whole area here, including the platform there and the area where the track's been removed, was just the sand and grass. So it's transformed this corner as well. I don't mind doing little scenes like this because it just adds to the whole atmosphere of the layout. Just a different angle from the opposite end. You can see that a bunch of tyres have just been left there in a pile loosely. Sort of, I guess, maybe not 100% prototypical, but from what I've seen around Miami, there's been quite a few lines that have been just removed or just left there and overgrown. So I decided to remove the rails anyway and do it this way. One of the other items I purchased from Bernard were these milk crates. Now these are tiny. They're about 4.5mm square by about 3.5mm high, but the detail in them is fantastic. They are see-through, they are webbed, you could say. I'll try and get down a little bit closer for you so you can see what they look like. So it's much easier focusing on this stack of 6 here. So as you can see, the detail in these is phenomenal. It is amazing what 3D printing has done to our hobby. These are just brilliant. And the last item I purchased were the CCTV cameras from Bernard at Mini Prints. They'll be going on this building over here and possibly on a couple of the other buildings around the layout. Maybe the produce centre, maybe even Salco, you know, one beside the gate there where it goes off into the vacant land. So on the Salco building we're looking at putting cameras on the end down here, and also the opposite end overlooking that vacant block of land there into towards the container yard. A couple other buildings will be around at Miami Produce. I'll just move the camera, we can have a look down there. And on the Miami Produce building here will be the one of the other places where I'll locate a couple of those CCTV cameras, so possibly on the end here and down on the opposite end of the building through here, just to keep an eye on the movements around the produce centre. Considering you've got trains coming and going as well as trucks and forklifts running around, yeah, safety is paramount. Anyway, so that's where I'm at with the layout currently. Just adding details and getting a few things put into place, you know, just to improve the overall look of it. Yeah, look, hopefully I'll get another update to you soon, because I have been working on some switch stands, and I'll cover that in the next video, because even though I've been working on them, painting them and detailing and weathering them up, I've still got to install them on the layout. So that'll be in the next month's video, or coming up soon anyway. So hopefully I'll get that out to you before you think that I've abandoned you all. So I do apologise for the late upload, but anyway, it's here for you to have a look at. Anyway, thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and appreciate the new subscribers that have popped along, and until next time, you know what I'm going to say, take care, stay safe, and keep on modelling. Cheers, Gary.